Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good whatever time of day it may be for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Laidback Gamer, and as I've been saying for a little bit now, this is a video where I go over essentially all of what I plan on releasing for content-wise during the summertime. I promise that most of you might like it. For some who watch some of the series that I haven't been working on for a while, and we will briefly touch base on that. I will be explaining kind of what's been going on with that, as well as when I plan on resuming it. But for the most part, it's all going to be good things. So, why am I making this change? Well, it's because I'm trying to make a positive change in my life. I've decided that I want to try to get my life back in working order, and that since I can't seem to find another job elsewhere for the time being, or probably the whole summer, I am going to, well, be just doing more of this. I really also do enjoy doing this YouTube for you guys to see, and you guys seem to enjoy it, so I want to try to endeavor to bring a bit more. By the way, the music that you're hearing in the background is the Pac-Man World 3 official soundtrack. So for those of you who are curious, and in case anybody out there is looking to copyright this, I don't claim any rights. I don't claim to be the making behind the soundtrack. As a matter of fact, I will even provide a link in the description so that those of you who wish to say, well, this isn't yours, I have proof that it's from somebody else's video. Now, we're going to be talking about a couple things. So it's going to be some existing content, some new content, and then the revised to the schedule that I plan on making. So here's the existing. So first we're going to talk about basically what most of my channel has been based off of, and that's Elder Scrolls Legends. Obviously, it's still continuing. It's going to be on an every other day basis. I'm going to really try to keep forward to that. So for example, I just had a Elder Scrolls video yesterday, meaning that there will be none today, but there will be an upload for one tomorrow. And I didn't include this in here, but I'm going to try to be doing a little bit of grinding off camera, climb a few ranks. That is my hope. I can't do that on mobile because for whatever reason, they still seem to keep screwing up the mobile version, or at least from what I've been seeing. So it'll all have to be done off of a computer. And we're going to be heading into Season 5 of the Legendary Climb, and it's going to be kicking in at the same time that all of this, like the promise that I'm making to you guys for this update, is going to be kicking in. And the lore series, for anybody who remembers that, it is still underway. I am slowly working on making up some scripts and kind of piling a few cards into some decks. I have an alternate account that I haven't logged on to that in a while. That I do have a lot of gold saved up in. I'm going to try to buy some packs for it using the gold, run some arena runs so that I can get that up and make it so that in sort of demonstrating kind of what their function is in ESL, make it interesting. And I'm not sure how many people have enjoyed the streams, but I'm going to be getting more streams going for Elder Scrolls Legends. More on that in the grand schedule portion. Civilization 4 Rise of Mankind, that's going to be continuing. I'm going to hopefully put it up 3 times a week. And one of them is going to be with an Elder Scrolls Legends video, guarantee. The other 2 might be on the same day as one, might not be. I'm not 100% sure. Point is, I'm going to be making 3 a week. And for the sake of trying to keep things going and make sure that it's interesting, I'm going to probably edit out some of the less exciting things, maybe condense it down into some just a few interesting highlights or tidbits of information, but hopefully we can get that series continuously speeding along, because while we're playing on the longest game setting at the second biggest map size, so it's kind of dragging along. And the reason why I haven't been uploading a lot of that is because, well, I haven't been playing a lot recently. Well, at least of Rise of Mankind, because the file that I've been working on off camera, it kind of got, and I realized why I went on a big kick for it for a bit, and that was because the stuff I'm doing, the series I'm recording for YouTube, it was interesting. Like, in the series that I had off of it, like just on my free time, I had a massive tech lead against the AI. I honestly, at that point, I don't know if I could, but I'm pretty certain that my vote, with the amount of population I have in the world, I alone could vote myself to be the victor of the game through the UNN or United Nations. It's not UNN. No, that's something else. That's a StarCraft thing. But from the UN, I could vote myself to be the victor. And here, I'm not. I don't have that. I'm actually struggling and trying to keep up with the AI, and it's kind of exciting, and I kind of forgot about that. So hopefully that's going to help. That's also going to help drive this series forward by a lot. And for copyright reasons, because those videos have been getting striked. Also, do want to take note, I'm doing a pretty good job of keeping up with the pace of some of this music. I'm going to be trying to use some different music. Not sure what I'm going to do yet. I have an idea from a compilation of different older games, which I believe fall outside of the copy use, right? Because they are older. I'm not 100% sure how the copyright strike works, and I think I may have put it down wrong there, but I think if it was made over 10 years ago, then you're fine. However, if it's made within the span of 10 years from the date that you put the video up, then you're liable to get a strike. So that's what I'm going to be finding some different music to use for copyright reasons. StarCraft, the campaigns, not just including that of StarCraft 1, but also of number 2. I'm going to be continuing that for 2 to 3 times a week. And I've made a decision to also include the custom co-op campaigns that are currently up there. Now, I don't have the editor or the author behind that. I'll make sure to tag it in the description, but essentially a team of people are trying to recreate all the StarCraft 2 campaigns in a co-op function. So you essentially just work with other people with obviously the single player appropriate resources and units that you'll have there, and try to beat the AI. So I'm hoping to get that as well included in there. I'll still be doing the single player campaign for StarCraft 2, but it's also going to include this. And I might even show off some of the co-op missions. I'm still not sure about that. It might be might be yes, might be a no. I'm not 100% sure. I'll figure that out later down the road. Or if you guys want to see that, just let me know, and it'll definitely help influence whether or not I put those co-op missions up on the channel. And lastly, for existing series at the moment, we have the PS2 series and the Block Fortress Wars. They are still a thing. I'm still planning on getting them done. I'm going to start resuming their videos for them next week. Hopefully for the PS2 stuff, they're going to come 2 times a week, possibly only 1. They do take up unlike the other videos that I record, such as Legends or Civilization 4, I need to use a capture card in order to get it to actually look pretty good, instead of just crap and it sounds like, and I kind of sound choppy in the background. And that, unfortunately, takes up a massive amount of space. Just to put it into perspective, I recorded 4 or 5 Civilization episodes, and the file size of that was approximately the same as my average Jak and Daxter series. So, or at least of the more recent ones that I did. So they do take up a lot of space, but I'm going to be getting a couple USB sticks so that I can offload some of the unedited videos onto that, have it take up space on there, and that way I'll have a bunch. I can make a bunch of them up and then edit them as I need them. And as for Block Fortress, probably going to be once or twice a week. Now, before I go on to the new content, I will address the Monster Hunter and No Man's Sky portion, since I didn't include something for that. I am waiting for the expansion to come for Monster Hunter World before I really get back into it. And No Man's Sky, there's also a big expansion coming in the summertime. So both of them, I'm going to be putting a lot more of them up when I get more information, or actually just when everybody gets more information as to, from No Man's Sky when it's releasing, and for Monster Hunter World when it finally releases in August. So it's not that I'm not going to be covering those anymore, it's that for now they're kind of just on, I wouldn't even say the back burner, they're just more to the side on a counter space that don't really need I'm not going to be tending to. So just wanted to throw those in before we move on to new content, because yes, I'm going to be getting some new stuff. Starting with a Skyrim roleplay series. So for the past while, I've been working on trying to make this happen, and ideally, I might be bold enough to say this, it's hopefully going to be coming around the end of the summer. Ideally. Don't quote me on this, because I still have a lot of testing to do with it when it comes with mods. Still have a lot of testing to go with that, so it might end up being postponed by quite a bit. If it doesn't start coming at the end of the summer, then it will probably come closer to the end of the year because of school. As I said, mods are still being tested, and I got a story for them, like a broad story. Basically, what major quest line do I want to work on in sort of, like, I guess an act, like in each individual act. So for example, and I'll give a bit of it away, in Act 1, my character is going to be, he's going to be needing some money. So who else to turn to rather than doing a bit of mercenary quests for the companions? I'm going to be progressing down that tree line, and we might have some interactions with other guilds. For instance, he's going to come into contact with a thieves guild during his adventures with the companions, might even come into contact with the Dark Brotherhood, and by the end of the first act is when he's going to finally visit Helgen and see Alduin come out. Of course, it's going to scare him, but can't really, he knows that he can't do anything about that. So that's sort of what I had in mind for the broad story. I still have to work on some details, as in, okay, I got the main the quests pinned down, but what else is he going to do? For instance, I have a couple of mods that allow me to build up some things, such as Withstand Mine, and I also have a Dwemer facility that I still haven't fully explored yet. I'm still trying to get all the pieces in a semi-mock run of it. So some mods I don't exactly know what they're going to do, others I do, and I have them working for the most part in harmony. I can at least get about 2 hours of gameplay going before it sort of becomes unstable. I can get even more if I stay in one of the holds. So for instance, if I stay in the Rift, I can normally get I can get more time out. more time on those videos than whereas to say if I were to my character were to go from the Rift to Right Run to Falkreath to the Reach and etc etc. And I am open to mod and story suggestions. So if you have a mod head in mind, simply just let me know in the comments section and I'll test it out, see if it works well with the other mods that I have currently going. And if you have any story suggestions on where you would like maybe some details or perhaps a better something that I think well, you know what, this is actually better plot progression and it makes more sense. Let me know. I'll definitely take those suggestions into consideration. And when it comes with mods, it's more than likely going to be included. With story suggestions, I don't want to break the flow of it, but if it happens to flow perfect, then I will include it. Then Elder Scrolls Online. I'm going to be bringing forth a series on this. I've almost managed to put together enough money to be able to purchase the game through Steam, and I'm not going to be buying a collector's edition. I'm just going to be buying the base game as well as the current expansions out for it. And on Steam, it's going to include everything up to the latest expansion, the Elsewhere edition, where also kind of in a interesting twist, dragons are returning again. So, yeah. It's going to be a stream content only. That's the catch with it. I'm only going to be streaming this game and have the occasional highlights. It'll be once a week on YouTube only. It's still a relatively new game for me. I have played a bit of it, but that was in the high elf starting I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. Somerset Isles. That was the expansion name. I played some of it during then. Haven't touched it since, so some mechanics may have changed. Might not have. Some things may have gotten better. Some things may have gotten worse. I don't imagine them getting worse, but it is getting a lot of popularity now, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. So I'm hoping that this is both going to be fun. And if you own the game, feel free to join in. Just send me a message. Maybe leave a comment saying, "Hey, here's my this is my character. Would you like to do maybe some dungeons or raiding sometime?" And I'd be happy to have you join along. More the merrier. That's what I say. And Civilization 4: Cavemen to Cosmos, another mod for Civilization 4. It's going to be starting right after the Rise of Mankind playthrough ends. I don't know when that one's going to end. I think it could possibly end before the end of the summer, so that's why I'm mentioning it now. And it gets a lot crazier than Cavemen to Cosmos, a lot bigger than Rise of Mankind is. Just to put it into perspective, I'm currently the map sizes can get even bigger, and the length of game gets even longer. There's a lot more there's a lot more settings, a ton of new resources, buildings, some new faction, some new AI, or not AI, some new leaders to play, a lot of new mechanics. And there's even an entire age before the Ancient Age, the Prehistoric Age, hence why the Cavemen to Cosmos. And currently, I'm doing a playthrough of it to test it out, see what we got. And, well, my current Cavemen to Cosmos series that I'm doing on my own is about 6,000, I think it's kilobytes? I don't think it's megabytes. It's either kilobytes or megabytes. And I'm well into the modern age, slowly approaching the end of the modern age, about to jump into a more futuristic era. And there's a lot of AI on the map, a ton of units just going around everywhere. and I'm making a dumb amount of gold on it. I think I'm making about 20,000 a turn, sitting at 0% research. So yeah, that's a lot of gold on that. Caveman to Cosmos is even crazier than that. Whereas the game that also to add kind of a bit of perspective in, the one I'm doing for YouTube, it's at about roughly it just crossed over the 3,000 mark. So, you know, and that one where are we? We're in the medieval era, I believe, kind of in transition between early and mid or high medieval era. The Caveman to Cosmos, I set it for the longest runtime it can go on, eternity. I am about half. I decided to start back in the prehistoric age, and I am halfway through the ancient era, and that's taken me possibly just about as much time as it took me to get it. Took about as much time as I've spent on my separate playthrough of Rise of Mankind, which is a considerable amount of time. And not to mention, the file size for that is greater than the file size for the Rise of Mankind playthrough I'm doing for YouTube. And we're just getting started. So yeah, it's going to get a lot crazier. So it's going to be a very long series. That's what I predict. I'm not going to set it at the longest game mode, because otherwise I will probably still be on it about 2 years later. Possibly 3 years from when I start that series. If I was on the longest game difficulty, I would be finishing it. So it's a long game. But I am still going to keep the map size at a rather large scale and include a bunch of options that come in the Caveman to Cosmos. If you have any suggestions on what you would like to see out of, say, that series, let me know, and I'd be happy to include it. There are already some that I'm going to be adding in there, so it's just going to be great minds think alike. But there are some that I haven't tried out yet, and if you want to see them, just let me know. I might have already used them, I might have not, I don't know, we'd have to see. So, without further ado, probably what some people, if you're still at this point in the video, have been waiting for a while, and that's the grand schedule. So, every day, and this is a promise I'm going to really try to uphold myself to, every day we'll have 1 or 2 video uploads. Streams that will work around my work schedule and my personal life. So, say for instance, I happen to be working on a Wednesday, there will not be a stream on a Wednesday. And I'll let you guys know when the streams are for each week. I still have to wait a couple days before I know the stream days for next week, as my schedule comes out every Thursday. Each week we'll have 2 live streams with at least a day apart in between, and that's sort of to, you know, that I get a bit of a cool down, and maybe it works around my work schedule or my personal life. Like I said, I want to try to go to the gym a bit more, get some exercise in. So days that I'm not live streaming are probably going to be days where I'm either at work or getting some exercise in. More videos are going to be recorded in just single sessions rather than standalones. So for instance, a lot of the Elder Scrolls Legends videos that I currently have, that I've been making for a while now, they have been just standalone. Essentially, I record it, I do a little bit of trimming on the beginning and end, then I upload it. Now, while that might still be the case for some of the Legends content, for everything else, it's probably not going to be the case. I'm going to be doing them trying to record them all together at once, and those are going to be on days where I'm not live streaming, I maybe just come home from a workout, and well, and I'm working on this content, or days that I come home from work for that matter. So just do keep that in mind. It might lower the quality a little bit. I'm hoping that it's not going to, but that's in order to try to make this work. I am going to be doing a lot of more recording in sessions. Just another note on another reminder, Elder Scrolls Legends will be on every other day, and that also includes streams. So for instance, say this might not happen next week. It might, depending on how my work schedule is, but say on Monday it ends up being a ASL day. I would make a video for that and then upload it, and along with another video. And say I said, okay, we're gonna have a stream the next day. That stream will be Elder Scrolls Online. It will not be Legends. I still want to keep the Legends will be every other day, so that would mean that the Legends stream would be a bit later on in the week, or vice versa. If say on Monday I had the Legends stream, then the next day will not contain any Elder Scrolls Legends content. It might contain a highlight or two if I think that there is a highlight that people would like to check out, but it won't include anything new. And all of this, everything that has just been covered in this video is going to take effect starting next week. So I've got a little bit of readying to do. Gonna have some content ready for the initial kick, and then I gotta make sure I get myself into the groove of things. So it's not gonna be happening for this week, even though it's Tuesday and the week's still relatively new. I'm gonna give myself some time to get the content ready, and perhaps maybe some of you guys a bit ready to see and hear a bit more of me. And just some other related news before we wrap up the video. I'm still searching for a good video editing app / program. If you happen to know of any that is pretty good, just let me know. Just do take into consideration that I don't really want to pay like say $100 to actually use one. But if say it could get some basic stuff done and put everything together relatively nice, and it's either free or pretty low cost, then I wouldn't mind taking a look at it, trying to figure out how to use it, and hopefully using that to improve all of my current content and try to make them a bit better. And I'm going to be making a playlist for streams, and I'm open to suggestions from you guys out there. So do keep in mind that it is going to be on YouTube, so I can't use anything that could possibly be considered copyrighted. So nothing from, I guess, nothing from past few years. But I will be taking some games like Ratchet and Clank, OSTs, and putting that into the playlist and having that circulate through. And essentially, it's just going to help break up the background sound in Legends and in the Elder Scrolls Online. And I believe that basically covers everything. So a bit of a long-winded video, I'm aware, but for those who stuck around to this point, thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button if you really enjoyed. Don't forget to share this video or any of my other videos to anybody who you think will enjoy my content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell as well, because I guess you don't get it nowadays. You don't get notified unless you hit the notification bell, which doesn't make any sense to me. I would think that hitting the subscribe button would automatically do that, but it's YouTube, so I can't really say too much about that. If you have any suggestions, any feedback of what I've just shown you guys right now, simply leave a comment. Perhaps maybe you have a mod to consider, a Skyrim mod. Leave a comment on that. Maybe you want to see a different end game. Leave a comment on that. Or perhaps you want to join me on my Elder Scrolls Online adventure. Leave a comment saying that about that. Or even go ahead and leave a comment on what your favorite thing about all this promise of content is going to be. Well, yeah. Anyways, until the next video, take it easy.